boy drove the GTR at an incredible speed and overtaking the 5th place in an instant, but his coach told him to slow down and enter the pit. Not only did he refuse to follow orders, he pushed the car to 270 kilometers per hour and sped through the Nürburgring. With mature, overtaking routes, he quickly caught up to 3rd place. At a sharp corner, he shifted gears and accelerated, surpassing the toughest 2nd place driver. At that moment, everyone thought this rookie might pull off a miracle comeback, but fate played a cruel joke on him. The boy got into the most terrifying car accident of his life. His name was Jann Mardenborough. He was just an ordinary gamer, but through a racing game, he reached the top of the professional racing world. Ever since he became obsessed with a game called Gran Turismo, he had turned into a complete homebody. He studied every racetrack countless times, and the way the game simulated real-life scenes was already frighteningly accurate. But his father thought he was wasting his life on games. A real racing car was something a normal family could never afford, until Nissan announced a plan that completely changed Jann's racing destiny. To find naturally gifted racers, Nissan held a Gran Turismo competition in 2008, selecting the fastest virtual racers in the world for training, turning gamers into professional drivers to represent Nissan in real competitions.
You really think that you're going to put some kid who's been playing a game in his bedroom into a 200-mile-an-hour rocket? It'll tear him to pieces.
These players have clocked more track time than you have in your entire career.
Nissan boldly announced this crazy dream to the whole world. When Coach Jack agreed to the plan, Jann found himself invited to a virtual race. He couldn't believe this could be the chance to change his life. While he was preparing for the race the next day, his brother took him to a dockside party. They secretly pushed their father's car out, just so they could meet some girls. Unfortunately, they ran into the police. Jann had to pull over while being chased. To avoid being caught and spending the night in jail, which would make him miss the next day's race, Jann slammed the gas pedal to 200 kilometers per hour, drifting around corners like he was in the game. He simulated every turn in his mind, successfully shaking off the police. But he scraped his father's car headlight. When he got home, his father was furious and didn't say a word. The next morning, he dragged Jann to a construction site to make him atone for his mistake. But Jann's race was about to begin. He had no mood to work there.
You think you're gonna play stupid video games about cars and you're gonna become a race car driver? Either you go back to school and find something achievable, or you can join me here now.
Hearing his father's criticism, Jann's heart filled with defiance. He threw down his tools and rushed to the race venue. The European qualifiers were about to start. Jann arrived late and was already in 17th place. To get into GT Academy, he calmed himself and began to catch up. At the crucial moment, he imagined the race as if he were in the game, immersed in it completely, and overtook from the outer line all the way forward. Jann finished first, winning a spot in GT Academy. When his father learned Jann was going to drive a real race car, he strongly objected. Since Jann had never driven a real car before, his father was worried and helpless. When Jann first arrived at GT Academy, he felt both familiar and excited. But his real competition had just begun. Coach Jack evaluated their gaming performance to determine who had the real skills to handle an actual race car. Anyone who failed a test or made a serious mistake would be sent home immediately. Every so often, one member was eliminated, until only the strongest 5 remained. If anyone's fitness or endurance fell behind, they would face elimination too. One day, Jann took his coach through the 15th corner. After exiting, the track narrowed. The coach told him to prepare for an overtake, but Jann failed to brake in time. He made a cornering mistake that almost cost the coach his life. Everyone thought Jann lacked the courage to continue.
I tried to brake, and the brakes didn't
Brakes not
respond.
working?
That's not what I said, but I felt like they were glazed.
I get it, but it's time to quit.
The next day, the coach found out the brakes had actually slipped. He went to the gym and handed Jann the advancement spot. Jann successfully entered the final 5 for the elimination round. Only one would be chosen to represent Nissan in real racing. As the elimination race began, Jann told himself this was just another game. When the race started, he fell back to 5th place. But with his rich gaming experience, he overtook them one by one. By the second lap, Jann had reached 3rd place. He timed his acceleration perfectly, passed the 2nd place racer, and entered the final lap. He gave everything he had, staying right behind. They crossed the finish line almost together, but in the slow-motion replay, Jann was ahead by 1,000th of a second. Just as the coach was about to announce the result, Jack stopped him. He said the tiny time difference didn't matter. What mattered was Jann's skill, which could lead Nissan to global success. Finally, Jann was declared the winner. At that moment, he officially became part of the Nissan team's journey. But to truly join the team, he first needed to obtain an international FIA racing license. In his first professional race, he was left far behind. On the first day of the pro race, and as the cars sped ahead, Jann was quickly dropped to 8th place. He steadied his breathing and focused on overtaking. But when a car ahead blew, a tire's smoke filled the track, forcing Jann to pit for cleaning and refueling. When he returned to the race, he had fallen to 13th place. He accelerated from the right, passed on the inside, and climbed to 8th. Using his gaming experience, he overtook the tough Kappa team and reached 4th place, enjoying a brief moment of glory. The coach thought he could hold his position and easily earn his license, but Kappa intentionally rear-ended Jann, sending his car spinning out of control. He finished last, losing the race completely. His lack of experience caused a crushing defeat in his debut season, but Jann refused to give up. He trained harder on endurance and strength, building his stamina and willpower. In the second race, his radio malfunctioned, and without team communication, he finished 23rd and lost again. In the third race, he placed 17th. In the fourth, he climbed to 8th. With relentless effort, his results improved each time. In the final race in Dubai, he needed at least 4th place to earn his license. It was his last chance. Right after the start, the Kappa squeezed him to the outside, almost forcing an error, so Jann decided to show them what real racing skill looked like. He accelerated between Kappa and Schulin, using his gamer instincts to brake and drift past both of them. But Kappa refused to give up, shifting to 6th gear and speeding past Jann again. That dangerous move nearly cost them both their lives. After Kappa's mistake, Jann continued pushing through the final lap. With tight corner defense and strong acceleration, he finished 4th, earning his international FIA license. In just 8 months, he had gone from a keyboard racer to a real professional driver. Jann became famous overnight, signing a big contract with the Nissan team. But his arrogance and overconfidence led to a serious accident at the Nürburgring, causing 1 death and several injuries among the spectators. The crash sent Jann into a dark low point. Although the racing committee proved he was not at fault, the incident made other teams doubt his abilities. They believed gamers couldn't handle real race cars. To protect his racing license, his coach decided to enter him in the Le Mans race. Le Mans was known as the world's toughest 24-hour endurance race, something only extraordinary drivers could finish. To prove himself, Jann had to stand on the Le Mans podium. His journey to defy fate officially began. On race day, millions tuned in to watch. For the first time, Jann's father came to the track, feeling proud of his son's dream, the racing path that no one had believed in. This time, his father gave his full support. Although endurance racing required 2 teammates to complete, no one had ever managed to drive solo for 14 hours. But the coach fully trusted Jann. The long endurance race began. At the first corner, intense collisions occurred. Jann avoided the crash and entered the next straight. Reaching speeds of 340 kilometers per hour, he still managed to brake smoothly at every sharp turn. These precise techniques were things he had practiced thousands of times in the game. For Jann, it was second nature. But the next second, he nearly lost his life. Schulin made a serious mistake that terrified Jann. Memories of his past crash flooded back. Fear took over, his focus slipped, and his speed dropped. He kept falling behind from 5th place. No matter how much the coach yelled, Jann didn't respond. So the coach held the radio to the mic and tried to wake him up with music.
Yeah! Well, get mad! It's about time! Come on! Get in the fight! I know you're scared. I've been scared. Whether you like it or not, you are in this race. So you take all that Kenny G anger and you unleash it. You hear me?
The music brought Jann back. He quickly adjusted to push the car to 370 kilometers per hour and began his chase again. For the first time, Nissan's true power was on full display. At the corners, he executed perfect maneuvers, overtaking into 12th place. After 8 exhausting hours of racing, he kept pushing forward. With laser focus, he led Nissan's incredible comeback. It felt as easy as playing the game. After 12 hours, Jann took a rest while his teammate continued. They climbed from 8th to 4th place after 19 hours. In the final stage, Jann got back into the car. During a tire change, a mechanic accidentally dropped a part. Even though the coach rushed to fix it, the delay dropped Jann to 9th place. He pushed the throttle hard, risking everything to catch up. But the gap was huge. Then he remembered a technique he once discussed with his father. He told the coach to stop giving instructions. He would finish the race his own way. It was a huge risk, but the coach trusted him. Jann calmed down, instantly visualized the perfect racing line and drove like he'd entered cheat mode. He set the fastest lap of the race and reached 4th place. Entering the final lap, he was only 6 seconds behind his old rival, the Kite. He gave everything he had to defend his position.
Come on, do your thing. Commit.
Come within sight of the grandstands as well. This is...
Jann crossed the line, winning 1st place in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. With extraordinary performance, he became the champion, proving his true skill and silencing all the doubts. He earned everyone's respect. From then on, Jann Mardenborough was no longer just a gamer, but one of the best race car drivers in the world, because he truly became a professional racer by playing games. He completely broke the idea that motorsport was only for the rich. The greatest meaning of dreams is to give people direction to move forward. As long as you have the courage and take action and enjoy every moment of the present, no storm can ever stop you.